review for Inception, I actually had nightmares and woke up in a cold sweat wondering what to say about Christopher Nolan's latest masterpiece, which, if I comment too much on, gives away too much about the film and why you should go see it. So I'm going to try carefully to review this film while not treading on Christopher Nolan's dreams. I'm James Harleman, and this is Film and Theology, where we look at film not just from the artistic perspective, but also measuring the narrative against the meta-narrative Christians believe infuses all of life. Now, if you look at Christopher Nolan's body of work, from Memento to Insomnia to The Prestige and even The Dark Knight, there's a recurring theme as Christopher Nolan really examines subjective perception, and this film is kind of the exclamation point on that body of work.
What's the most resilient parasite? An idea. A single idea from the human mind can build cities. Idea can transform the world and rewrite all the rules. Which is why I have to steal it.
Human subjectivity is under the microscope. Our subjective understanding of morality, ethics, reality itself, as Inception dives headfirst into. There seems to be a recurring theme that in some ways maybe subjectivity is captivity. That not only can people like the team in Inception seek to slip an idea into someone's mind and be a deceiver, but that we also deceive ourselves. It begs that question, fertile ground for conversation Christians love to have. Is there objectivity? Can objective truth be known, or perhaps can it know us?
He's hiding something, and we need to find out what that is.
We gotta break out of here. Give him the kick!
We believe, as Christians, of course, that we can deceive ourselves, that we can be deceived by others, and that there is ultimately a spiritual deceiver. And if you think about Inception, as Cobb defines it, that it's the most resilient parasite, that it's an idea that can get into our minds and redefine us, reshape us, even transform the world. It's fascinating to think of Inception as a parallel to the entry of sin into the human condition. In fact, early in the film you find out part of the agenda is to go in and plant an idea that changes a man's relationship to his father. It's fascinating to parallel that with the Garden of Eden, where Satan comes in and with slightly twisted ideas introduces the concept that we don't need to image our Heavenly Father, that we in fact can be like Him, that we can be our own God. It's staggering to realize the idea of Inception has such a deep parallel with something which is so dramatically redefined us and set us on a course completely the wrong way that we should be going. And yet at the same time, if you consider the same idea of Inception that Christopher Nolan deals with in the film, Inception also has a paradoxical application to the gospel itself, the gospel that Christians believe.
Wake me up! Wake me up!
To think that a team or a leader in disciples would enter into someone's life and give a phrase, a word, a living word that transforms their identity and suddenly makes them something new. It's not outside the realm of what Christians believe the power of the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, can actually do. It's not ideation so much as incarnation. It's not just a phrase or a concept. We believe it's a living word in Jesus, but at the same time, it's that idea that something like that, just something, a seed can be planted in our minds and hearts, which absolutely rewrites and redefines who we are. So this film is replete with material for conversation, for edification, and to glorify the God that we love. I don't know where Christopher Nolan's at with his creator, but it's obvious as you look at his craftsmanship that he's an image bearer of God. I was thinking as I was watching this film about our God, how he's revealed himself throughout human history and paced that revelation with mysteries and then some unfolding truth, more unfolding, more revealed. The disciples not knowing exactly how he was going to atone for sin on the cross, and then us standing between the cross and the second advent of Jesus, feeling certain about things that he has revealed, but very uncertain about how things are going to come to pass. And probably, even though we think and might extrapolate what we think that's going to look like a good storyteller, I'm sure God's going to turn everything on its head, just as Christopher Nolan does in Inception. This is why Christians love to entertain their minds as we engage story, and that's the hope of film and theology, that as you go to a film like Inception, you're going to it thinking about our master storyteller related to the storyteller that's giving us the narrative we're viewing, and then understanding the narrative in terms of the realities that God has given us, the objectivity that he has given us, so that we can have subjective conversations about that film, but grapple at the truths that they might be pointing to. So until next time, I'm James Harleman, and this is Film and Theology. If you want spoiler-laden reviews on Inception, you can check out Cinemagogue.com in the coming weeks, where we'll dig more deeply into the nuances of the film itself. But until then, watch to glorify.